Luka Modrić, the midfield magician who inspired an entire generation, may have just played the final chapter of one of football's greatest careers. After more than 2 decades of unforgettable moments, countless trophies, and performances that defined an era, the football world is now preparing for the possibility of saying goodbye to one of its true legends. For years, fans around the globe watched him control the tempo of the biggest matches on the planet, guiding his teams with a calmness that few players have ever possessed. Whether it was a quiet league fixture or the final of the UEFA Champions League, Modric always seemed to find that extra half a second of time, that extra yard of space, that made him different from everyone else on the pitch. From a childhood shaped by war in Croatia to standing on football's biggest stages, Modric's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. Growing up amid conflict and uncertainty, he learned resilience long before he learned how to strike a football with such precision. That early hardship shaped the player and the man he would become. Humble, disciplined, and relentlessly driven to prove that talent combined with heart can overcome even the most difficult circumstances. He conquered Europe, lifted 6 UEFA Champions League trophies, won the Ballon d'Or, and became the heartbeat of both Real Madrid and Croatia. Every pass, every assist, and every moment of brilliance reminded fans why he was considered one of the greatest midfielders of all time. His rise from a small war-torn town to the Santiago Bernabeu is a story that transcends football itself, a story of survival, ambition, and an unbreakable will to succeed against all odds. Coaches who worked with him early in his career often spoke about his hunger to learn, his refusal to accept defeat, and his ability to see the game several passes ahead of everyone else. That vision became his trademark, the quality that separated him from thousands of other talented footballers who never reached his level. At Real Madrid, Modric became more than just a player. He became a symbol of consistency in an era defined by chaos and change. Managers came and went, teammates arrived and departed, yet Modric remained a constant, orchestrating the midfield with elegance and intelligence season after season. His leadership on the pitch often went unnoticed by casual fans, mesmerized by the goals scored by his more famous teammates. But those who understood football recognized that Modric was often the man pulling the strings behind the scenes. His emotional exit from the 2026 FIFA World Cup has sparked widespread discussion that this could mark the end of his international career, while many fans are also wondering whether club football will soon follow. Although an official retirement announcement has not yet been made, the emotion surrounding his farewell has made millions believe that football is witnessing the end of an unforgettable era. The images of him walking off the pitch, visibly emotional, surrounded by teammates and opponents alike paying their respects, have already become symbolic of a career built on dignity, respect, and unmatched professionalism. Social media has been flooded with emotional tributes from fans, former teammates, football experts, and rival supporters. Across the world, people are sharing their favorite Luka Modric moments, celebrating the player who proved that intelligence, vision, and determination could overcome every obstacle. Former teammates have described him as one of the most humble superstars they have ever played alongside, a man who never let fame change his approach to the game or his respect for those around him. Even rival fans, who spent years booing him in opposing stadiums, have taken a moment to acknowledge the sheer brilliance and longevity of his career. Football analysts have spent hours breaking down his passing accuracy, his work rate, and his ability to control matches even in his late 30s, an age at which most midfielders have long since retired. His fitness and dedication to his craft became a blueprint for younger players hoping to extend their own careers at the highest level. If this truly is the final chapter, Luka Modric leaves behind a legacy that few players in football history will ever match. He wasn't just a world-class midfielder, he became a symbol of resilience, leadership, humility, and excellence. Young footballers will study his game for decades, and supporters will remember him as the player who made the impossible look effortless. coaches around the world will continue to use clips of his passing range, his positioning, and his decision-making as teaching tools for aspiring midfielders who dream of reaching even a fraction of his level. Beyond the trophies and individual accolades, what truly set Modric apart was his character. In a sport often dominated by egos and controversy, he remained a figure of quiet class, rarely seeking the spotlight and letting his performances speak for themselves. This is perhaps why his potential retirement has struck such an emotional chord with fans who admired not just his footballing ability, but the man behind the jersey. Whether this is goodbye or simply the beginning of one last adventure, one thing is certain: football will never forget Luka Modric. Legends may leave the pitch, but their legacy lives forever. His name will be mentioned alongside the greatest midfielders in the history of the sport, and his story will continue to inspire children growing up in difficult circumstances around the world, proving that dreams can be achieved no matter where you start in life. As the football world waits for an official statement, tributes continue to pour in from every corner of the globe. Clubs, federations, and fellow professionals have expressed their admiration for a player who redefined what it means to be a complete midfielder. From his early days battling through war-torn Croatia to lifting trophies on the grandest stages in world football, Modric's story stands as one of the most inspiring in modern sport. Fans have also begun compiling highlight reels celebrating his greatest moments, from his stunning long-range strikes to his effortless through balls that split open the toughest defenses in Europe. Documentary filmmakers and journalists are reportedly working on retrospectives chronicling his rise from a refugee camp during the Croatian War of Independence to becoming one of the most decorated footballers of his generation. It is a narrative that resonates far beyond the boundaries of sport, touching on themes of perseverance, sacrifice, and the power of belief. Younger Croatian players have openly credited Modric as the reason they picked up a football in the first place, describing him as a national hero whose achievements gave an entire country something to be proud of on the world stage. His leadership of the Croatian national team, including guiding them to a World Cup final, remains one of the most remarkable underdog stories in modern football history, inspiring millions who watched a small nation compete with the very best. For neutral fans, Modric represents something increasingly rare in modern football, a player whose value cannot be measured purely in goals or headlines, but in vision, control, and the ability to make everyone around him better. That, perhaps, is the truest measure of his greatness, and the reason his possible farewell feels like the closing of a chapter that shaped an entire generation of football. What is your favorite Luka Modric moment? Share it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest football news, breaking updates, and emotional stories from the beautiful game.